ATF for the family. Hell as you saying, I am the man, I go super saiyan when I'm on the beat. Piles of sand, buckets and pans, I get to the bands when I'm in the streets. Wear hands on feet, unique. My stick a new technique. Don't fuck with internet beef, bitches me and I beef. Hell as you saying, I am the man, I go super saiyan when I'm on the beat. Piles of sand, buckets and pans, I get to the bands when I'm in the streets. Wear hands on feet, unique.
Good afternoon, everybody. This is Herbsurdity Podcast, El Segundo. They call me Herb. And with me to my left is my co-host.
Just Alex, we think.
And this is the Herbsurdity Podcast with Alex and Herb. And today we have special guest AJ McMullen. Now, for those who do not know, a book was published. It wasn't the original book we talked about, but officially a published author. More to come. Yeah, we talking about getting a whole track record. One day we going to be on that James Patterson type level where we got a book coming out every other month. All right, that's what we working on. We ain't there quite yet because y'all need to go ahead and buy this book real quick.
How much coke do you think he does?
James Patterson?
Yeah.
Legally, none.
Because, I mean, Stephen King was doing mad amounts of blow to get to that level of prolific type stuff.
In my personal opinion, my man got to be a Hoover, bro.
He got to be, right?
Because that's just the adult book. We ain't talking about the young adults.
I don't want to, we're not slandering nobody. For any, I'm just saying.
You getting it in, Mr. Patterson. You is getting it in. Whatever you doing.
Hey, Marcus, add this all out immediately.
Yeah, I don't need to make that kind of enemy. He too powerful.
He's way too powerful.
Hey, my career be gone.
Exactly. Yo.
My man been a Thanos me, bro.
This how he stop you, right? All he do is he just put out so many books they ain't got room on the shelf for yours. That's how he stop your book from selling.
That's a good strategy.
I dropped 20 this week.
Just bury him in books.
Hey, he did 15 and 17 in 2015 alone.
That's insane.
And they long as shit, dude.
I wonder if he even edited them joints. So he just pop them out one go and say, all right, go take that.
All type of typos.
When you got money, you don't need to spend time doing that. You just write it.
He probably got a team of people doing it.
Yeah.
And they sell too. The publisher probably look at that man like, you know what? You got it.
Yeah.
you just send it straight to the printer.
What does his book deal look like though? You got to do 20 a year.
Oh no, he probably had a book deal at the beginning, like when he was trying to prove himself. Now they just like, yo, when you finish it, hey, just let us have it.
Speaking of Patterson though, man, let's start from the top.
Yeah.
Why did you want to be a writer? Why did you want to? Why?
All right, so I don't really know why I wanted to be a writer, but it's just one of those things that kind of stuck with me over the years. Like I can think back on like the time where I started writing. I was probably in maybe 3rd, 4th grade, and I used to draw a lot of fan fiction. And it's like one of those things where it's like, yo, Dragon Ball Z just like dragging on right now. They keep showing the Cell Saga over and over again. They won't move forward. So like they'll hit you with the next time on Dragon Ball Z, and then it's like 2 years later they finally show the episode. So it was like.
Episode.
So it was like in those between times, like I just started doing my own thing. Like started doing like little comic book strips and drawing like fan fiction of like Goku, and like I had like this whole story thing going on. Yeah. And like I had a group of friends that all used to do the same thing. So like I kind of took that and kept on doing it, but you know I stopped drawing because people kept drawing dicks and shit on my drawings at school. But
that's what happened when you grew up in the
Yeah,
hood.
yeah, man. They do not appreciate the arts in the hood, bro. So yeah, like it just kept going. Like, and over the years, man, you know how like adulthood hit you, and like it hit everybody different. And like at some point, I was just like, yo, this is a hobby. Yeah. Like I'm gonna have to let it go. But like sometime like in my late 20s, man, I realized like, yo, what is your passion? Right. And then I was like, yo, there's something in front of me that I just kept on going back to. And that was writing. Okay. That's always been writing. Okay. Now, it's not the same as the fan fiction I used to do because, you know, can't make no money off of that. But
well, I'm going to let you finish. But we going to discuss that
I'm interested.
Yeah.
I got some ideas too. Like I'm interested in what you
Yeah.
Right, we'll talk. I mean, you know, lack of knowledge. You know, I'm down to learn. But so started writing this, man, and I was like, yo, it sounds like a cool idea, but you know, I'm just gonna start. I'm gonna play around with it, but I'm gonna try to make some real money in corporate America real money in corporate America, whatever that means. And like over the years, man, like this is just the thing that I kept coming back to.
Yeah. Okay. That sounds right.
This is what I want to ask. Now we're going to get this interview progressing. But before we do that, this is the style of the show. I got to ask, what happened to Goku after Cell Saga for you? What was that fan fiction looking question? I need to know. Did Vegeta grow a mustache like in GT, or was it like on some Dragon Ball Super?
It was
what's going on.
It was a weird story because I don't remember if I did too much focus on Goku. Goku was still dead to me. Like he just died, and I just left it like that. But for the most part, I had this character that I was so obsessed with that he was like a grandson of Vegeta. Cause like Vegeta has always been my favorite.
Yeah.
So I was like, yo, what would happen if Goku and Vegeta's family continue on their heroic efforts and stuff after the fact?
Right.
So I was more fascinated with Vegeta, man.
That's the black people like Vegeta.
They do. I got in a whole argument, not an argument, but an internet conversation the other day.
Yeah.
Okay, all right, y'all gonna have to explain that.
Because Goku's a bad dad, right? we can't. It's a whole type of stereotype that we can't support in Goku.
Piccolo came through, stepdaddy.
Also claim him to be black. People, there's quite a few Piccolo fans.
Because back in the day, it was always like one black dad for the whole neighborhood.
Yeah.
True.
Definitely Piccolo.
He was raising everybody kids. Everybody else always dead.
Right. So here's my thing, though, right? They said
that.
Gohan broke a bunch of generational curses because, everybody else around him fighting all the time. He went to school, got a job, got a wife, happy family, happy wife.
That's deep.
You know what I'm saying?
Deep, bro.
Right? But don't nobody like Gohan because he went soft.
But because he went educated and he was like,
the only character that had development.
I don't need them. I don't need to give the
exactly.
hands. I can get us knowledge instead.
But I will say this though: the fact that they had to get Frieza on the squad in the tournament at the Dragon Ball Super is a problem because Gohan went soft.
Yo, facts. And I do like that Gohan had a do-rag though. So he stayed true to his roots. Sometimes
that is true. He tried to like 50 Cent, but it's okay.
Because Piccolo made him that way.
That's also true.
But all right, so back to the actual interview. It was a good segue because I know everybody wanted to know because I wanted to know. So the question I had right now, I've been thinking about it for a minute. Before we even started talking about this book right here, right? It's another general writing question, right? So, you did National Writers Month, right?
Yeah.
Right.
That's cool.
Now, when you completed, how many words was that again?
A little over 51,000 words.
That sounds crazy,
right?
It's $1 a word, boy. You be in there. All right.
What? I don't even know if I talk that much a month.
Facts, bro. I text 20 words and I'm tired. I'm like, I'm done for the day. But real talk though. So when you finished it, right, is that something you're looking to publish too? Like, I need to know, every time you write something, do you think, all right, bam, this is publishable? Or do you like, I'm just writing to practice? Like, which one is it, man?
So this is actually that book.
Stop playing with me.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. So I spent that month writing it, and majority of the next few months afterwards, and this is the result of that. Yeah.
That's a good way to use your time then. Okay.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about, man. Like, push to the limit.
All right, let me see. Do I want to do a top 5 now? I got 2 top 5s. Do I split them up now, or do we talk about the book now?
No. Get it in now, because you might be in the book too much. So yeah, the top 5 now.
All right,
they want to know.
Let's do one top 5 now. Let's say top 5 fictional characters across whatever spectrum you want to go: anime, cartoon, superheroes, whatever you want to do. Top 5 fictional characters. You can include your characters from your book.
Could be YA novels. I don't care.
Oh,
Katniss,
man.
what's up?
All right, so I got this problem, right? Because I'm a writer, and I'm so involved in my own stuff because I'm like trying to perfect it. I hardly ever think about anything else. But I'm gonna try not to do based off of my own books.
Hey,
like
man.
I would love to.
You.
I would love to, but like it's just right now like if you're sitting in a class and somebody trying to tell you how to do something and you have absolutely no idea what the fuck they talk about, but once you actually hear it then all of a sudden you're like, oh, that's what the fuck they were talking about. Like if I say it now, you would know.
Right.
So like I'm gonna try not to go there. Top 5. I would say like favorite, just favorite in general.
Oh yeah, favorite in general.
All right. So I would have to go
a little bit of why if you could. A little bit of
why. See, all right, man. These top 5s, man, they always stomp me out because like I'm so indecisive. So. And I'm stalling right now because I'm trying to think about stuff.
Man, that's what it's for. That's why we do the bands.
Right, so
you can just name 5. Throw them
so I'm gonna go Nightwing.
Okay, that's
okay. One.
All right. Batman.
Okay.
Sorry, Alex. I'm so sorry.
No, it's fine. Hey, man.
Hey, Little Nightwing was before Batman.
Look,
though. That
is true.
That's that bonus.
That is true. But look, I got a whole story that I want to run by y'all. Maybe on the show, maybe not on the show. But I just say Superman's still better. Superman be holding back all the time.
All right, yeah, I feel that. I'm
3.
gonna go.
We're about to do 3 right now.
I'm gonna go. Captain Marvel,
Which one?
the comic book one, dog.
I mean,
which
like,
one?
there's Shazam, Captain Marvel. There's Carol Danvers.
Carol Danvers.
Okay, Carol Danvers.
Like, yeah.
Okay.
Like, and I have a really big vendetta about how they did her in the MCU, but you know I ain't even gonna get there.
Yeah, facts.
Who else? I'm gonna come into your world right quick, Alex, because I always had a fascination with this character, the Eradicator.
Okay.
Oh,
Always loved the Eradicator.
God.
Why?
Because he was just so like all right. So the Death and Return of Superman, the video game, used to love that video game. The Eradicator was always my favorite character, and like growing up, like I did a little research on who he was and like what he stand for. He just seemed so destructive. Like I just love the destructive characters.
Yes, facts.
Like
yeah.
Oh man, I don't even know.
The name sells it for sure.
Bro, I think Steel or Cyborg Superman though are my favorite Superman replacements.
Yo, Cyborg Superman was ruthless.
Yeah.
I understand.
I will stop all crime by destroying it. Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
Batman in the future.
Yeah, pretty much every future Batman.
and
Like
Wilson Fisk.
Woo!
Wow.
Yeah.
So,
What I'm talking about?
all right, Nightwing, Batman. Who was the
Captain
third?
Marvel.
Captain Marvel, Wilson Fisk,
Carol Danvers.
and Eradicator.
Those would have to be my 5 favorites.
That's not bad.
Yeah.
Now I like the mix of hero and villain. See, that's I gotta stress the need for more antagonist main characters, man. If you would stereotypically be an antagonist, but you the main character, that makes you the protagonist. And say all the time,
Yup.
every hero, every villain is somebody's hero, man.
Well,
y'all, they forget.
we do that a lot. It's called Batman.
Yo,
It's called Iron Man.
Yo, Iron Man is nobody's hero. If you tell me you're an Iron Man fan, that means you don't like people. That's how I feel. That's how I feel. That means you think Jeff Bezos is a hero.
That's kind of
they
true.
compare Jeff Bezos to Lex Luthor, but he got an Iron Man suit somewhere. He got that
probably
much
do.
money.
Now Elon Musk might be Iron Man.
Yo, he do make flamethrowers all day.
Yeah.
That's what he do.
And
Smoke
I'm pretty sure
blunts
one of them
and
cars turned into a
flamethrowers.
suit of armor.
And I'm pretty sure Iron Man also is autistic in some fashion
Maybe.
because he got no social cues.
Oh, you know Reed Richards is, no offense to Fantastic Four.
That makes sense. Reed is also a jerk. So like I'm
Huge
with
jerk.
it.
But not all autistic people are jerks. Let's point that out.
No, they are not.
But those particular two, super jerks.
super jerks, Barrett. So I look. All right, so I'm glad I got the top 5 because now I know where your head at. That lets me know what kind of characters that you would appreciate in your own stories, right? Now this is what I want to know about Jim State Siege. So I haven't read Jim State Siege. To be completely transparent with the audience, I have not read any of the book. Alex has.
Read a very little bit.
But that's more than me. That's what's important, right?
I mean, I can say that it starts with kind of a mystery, kind of like, yo, what's going on? Where do we get there? How do we get here?
Well,
Like,
no, that's good. I like that.
right?
though.
It has very much starts with some intrigue.
I like to not know what's going to happen
Yeah.
when I flip the next page. That's
Exactly.
that's what's important.
Yeah, no.
So that's what we want to get into. We're gonna preview the book without previewing the book. right? Because we don't want to give away every single page to y'all. No offense. Y'all got to actually read the book. That's what we encouraging. We encouraging y'all to get out here, drink water, read, take a nap, eat your fruits and vegetables. All right. I hate to be on my Mr. T stuff, but some of y'all ain't ate a fruit in the past 14 years. And look, look at this water. Look at this. This was full when I got up this morning. See, it's halfway. Now, granted, the Paul Mason mango is also halfway.
I was about to say, I didn't want you to be a hypocrite. Drink water while holding the Paul Mason mango.
Bow. You know what I'm saying? Look at that. Sip water. That's what I'm talking about. Now, where I'm at, right? Got to dab the sweat. So where I'm at, what I want to know first, right? If you started it off not knowing the conclusion, right? You don't want the audience to know what's going to happen next, right?
Mm-hmm.
Give me a quick overview. Who should the audience focus on when they start this book? What's the main character look like? Is it one single protagonist? Do you doing a group? How you rolling?
Absolutely not. So I have this affinity for mystery, right? And like one thing I always loved about like Harry Potter books and stuff like that. Let me go the long way around this. Like one thing I always loved about J.K. Rowling and how she did with Harry Potter was that like the all the twists and turns with the main characters. So when you read the Gem Stacy, it'll be one of those situations like, okay, the narrator is obviously the main character, right?
Right.
Is he?
Oh,
I say no more.
okay. That's question marks, bro. Like
He might be.
I see. Now, my intrigue is peaked now. Because I don't know why you had to say it. Like, he said it with eyebrows. For those of you not watching YouTube, right, he said it with eyebrows. He ain't say it with his mouth. He said it completely with eyes and eyebrows, and that make it suspicious immediately.
Suspicious.
And then the answer may be yes, but I'm already suspicious, so I'm going to have to figure out for myself because I don't like being surprised, man. I got to know.
Yeah, but what if this isn't a spoiler for the book, because like I said, I've only read a few pages in, but what if we get to the part when we get to the end, he's like, yo, all this happened like 50 years ago, I'm dead, boom.
Oh, my God. It better not be a dream sequence. It ain't no dream sequence, is it?
No.
It's real? It's happening, right?
It's happening.
Okay, good. Because, oh, man, well, I can't tell you how many times it
Bro, that do be disappointing.
dream. I'd be ready to slap the author. I'd be like, man, if you don't get this book out of my face.
Remember the episode of Batman animated series where everybody died and then it was a dream?
Yeah, I was very disappointed.
Like, they killed everybody in like the span of like 20 minutes.
You want to talk about the biggest cop-out for authors? Let me tell about, you know what? Do's and don'ts. Do have intrigue. Do have mystery.
Yeah.
Do keep your reader hanging on every page. Don't make it all a dream sequence because it is so unsatisfying. I would like something permanent to happen to a character. I don't care if it's that he got a job and he's working 40 hours a week now. Cool. It's permanent. It's something that is realistic, happens, and I can feel it. Now, if you tell me he thought he had a job, he woke up, he was still unemployed, living in his mama's house. That is also real, but let me tell you something about it. Start off that way, end it that way. Don't make me sit here and think this man did something great with his life and then didn't. That is so disappointing.
Yo, thank you for changing my complete whole idea I had for a book. But it's okay. I'm not going to talk about it out loud now.
Oh, my God. See, that's why we talking to the author and we talking to a need to go ahead and finish his blog. We're not gonna make this about you. We're gonna make this about AJ right now. This is what's important.
So the Gem State is the first in how many books you want to write for this series?
For this particular series, 10 books.
10 books. Okay.
10 books.
Yeah.
You're a maniac. That's a lot of books.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
So
I love that.
Yo, that's what I'm talking about. You on some James Patterson stuff right now. You're doing 10 books. That's crazy.
Without the drugs, I guess.
We don't even know. Hey, James Patterson, don't sue us if you ever hear this. We were just joking.
Yeah,
Jokes.
I swear. I
You
know
like one of my heroes, man.
I think my mom has all your books.
Put that out there.
I can't afford to get sued. Just we were joking. Anyway, Aaron, please edit that out at the beginning. Timestamp it. We'll timestamp it later.
No. All right. I had another question because it's been on my mind for a minute. The cover.
Yeah.
You had a contest for the cover.
Yeah.
Right? So before we even get into why the cover, give me how it felt to do a contest for something like that. I want to know what it feels like as a writer to let other people have any influence in your work whatsoever.
Ooh, that's a good question right there. It was tough, man. It was tough. One of my biggest challenges is like always like opening up and allowing people to work alongside me, and doing that goes against everything that I groomed myself to be. So like just to open up that contest, open up that door for people to try to see my vision. For one thing, I was afraid that I wouldn't convey the vision clearly enough, I guess you could say. So like when I went in and I was like, yo, I'm about to, and once I put the money down, I was like, all right, so whatever I get is, I'm gonna have to pick something because I've already paid for this. So there's no turning back. But yeah, I was greatly surprised by the amount of things that I saw and the potential that I saw. Like, yeah, it was amazing, man.
Yo, the full transparency to the audience, for those who do not know, when AJ was picking who would win the contest and what cover he would choose, we at the Herbsurdity Podcast had a little bit of influence on that. We got to give our opinion. Ultimately, it was AJ's decision.
Yeah.
Because it's his book. It's his creative work. But just as from a consumer perspective, like if we saw it on a shelf, I would grab that just because it looks sweet. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Because that is part of it. At the end of the day, you can make the best book that ever was written. You can make Bible 2.0, but if the cover trash, ain't nobody looking at it. That's you got to know what's in. You got to have something to make you stand out from the rest of the crowd before you crack the first page open.
I mean, no, yeah, a good cover will catch your eye, bro. I done bought plenty of books that I ain't never even read, but I'm like, man, I love that cover.
I don't think I would have used the Bible as an example of that, though.
I mean,
well, I'm just talking about the highest selling book in all history.
I mean, true. With their own version like 72 now, and the cover
is
always
I don't
just.
know. I don't want to get religious. It gets weird.
I'm just saying that's the ultimate goal for every author, man, is to beat the Bible in sales. You know what I'm saying?
Good luck.
I never thought of that, but yeah, I guess you're right. Yeah,
you do that, it's a wrap. Like you can retire off that one book.
James Patterson probably did it.
No, not yet. Not off one book. All the books combined,
baby.
Probably.
Yeah.
Now I know. Was this like the lady that wrote To Kill a Mockingbird, right? She had a second book that she wrote, and she never wanted it released.
Oh, they did that like kind of recently, didn't they?
Yeah, they did, because she passed away, and the lawyer was like, got out of deposit box and was like, yo, we gonna release it. It's like, but she didn't want to release it on purpose, because it wasn't about the sales, it was about the craft. And honestly, once you gone, your legacy's there. They making kids read that in school forever.
True.
That's never going away.
True.
So like, why even? You know what I'm saying? Especially if you feel like your other work isn't as good. You don't want people to remember you by the one that wasn't so great. You want people to remember you by the one that was phenomenal.
Now, so I got two questions, and they're kind of related to that, what you just said. One, do you worry about, say this book, is a hit, it's another one, do you worry about like the next one becoming kind of having a lower impact? Or any of the books say whatever the height is, and then the next one it kind of drops off? Do you worry about those?
That sophomore slump?
Yeah.
Not really.
Okay.
Not really. And I mean, that might be because like I've already trained myself to be delusional. Like, yo, you writing 82 books. Why are you worried about this one? Keep going.
That's cool.
And as like in the author community, they say that the best way to promote your book is to write the next one.
Okay. Now, let me ask you about this. And you said, like, this is kind of going back a little bit to what you said about fan feedback and fan interaction. Nowadays fandom is very important to like success. Yeah. It's very fandom driven.
Yeah.
Do you worry about, say you have your story written all the way out and like you're at the, like it builds up steam, you got a big fandom now. Mm-hmm. Do you worry about them hijacking it and kind of fitting a narrative that they want to see? Like, say you have two characters and they're like, they should be in a relationship. But you
Not
like,
at all.
Shipping.
Not at all.
Or shipping, or just the ending going like, because I don't know if y'all remember Mass Effect 3. The ending to that game was like real controversial. People didn't like it. Fans basically shit on the game because they hated the ending so much. And like,
Really?
EA had to go and change the ending to the game. They had to add an epilogue and all that type of stuff. Yeah,
That's crazy.
so it's like one of those things where, do you worry about fans having not so much to say so, but more of commandeering your story that you're trying to tell?
Yeah, I don't. I mean, maybe I'm too early in the game to think about that because, like, I don't really have people like making online forums and shit about the book yet. So,
right.
Keyword. Maybe when I get there, I might have a better clue on how to answer that because I kind of look forward to it.
Okay.
Like, just like people just like coming together and like communities just like talking about it, the story. Like, I look forward to that.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's a good way to look at it. Because like something that like bothers me about writing and creating now is just a lot of outside opinion about the story, not letting the story kind of play out. You know what I mean?
I mean, I could say I did relate to that at some point in my life, and that's why it took me 10 years to actually start, publish a book, because of that.
Yeah.
But all publicity is good publicity.
And I mean, it has its benefits. The Snyder Cut is a good version of that.
Oh yeah, true.
You know what I'm saying? But there's other versions of it where it's like, where it's like
Sonic.
clearly not the author's vision. It's just like what the people want.
And Sonic.
Sonic 2. Sonic 2. I mean, and the fandom usually has an eye for stuff. You know what I mean? So it's not always bad. I don't want to say it's a negative thing, but it's just not necessarily the story that you want to tell.
Right. That makes sense.
Now, I got an inclination now. So what I'm thinking, right? For Jim Stay Siege in particular, how would you feel if somebody wrote a fan fiction tomorrow for this thing?
Oh, that would be wild. Wait, are you going to do it? Because you got that look in your face like you might do it.
Hey, look, I ain't the kind to just undercut a brother when he trying to do his thing, but I ain't saying the world ain't like that. Like, I ain't gonna take nothing but for somebody to post his joint on 4chan or something, and somebody gonna have a whole sequel out before he got the sequel out, talking about this is what's supposed to happen next. Because that's
it has happened before. It has happened before.
Hey man,
what the hell did I just hear? Anyway,
you'll be looking out for stories from Poppy Chulo V. So, I'm trying to tell you, he got that look in his eye like he was plotting. And his fan fiction name would be probably Poppy Chulo V.
You already know what's up.
That would be.
I'm sorry. Go ahead, Eric. Go ahead.
That would be a problem for whoever tries to do that. Say that they, want to release a fan fiction of, like, say, the second version of this book or second part of it before the next one come out. That'll be kind of hard to do considering that the next one comes out in September.
Ooh, wow. Okay. Yeah. So we already got things planned out here.
Yeah.
That's what I like to hear. I like to hear Arthur to stay on his game, because ain't nothing worse than somebody out here telling you, hey, look for part 2, and part 2 be 14 years from now.
I'm still waiting for Detox to drop.
Oh, Bad Boys, every 10 years is a Bad Boys movie.
I still want it.
I'm like, yo, can y'all just do them like 2 years apart, maybe? But I don't know.
Like some movies.
They drop when they supposed to.
10 years, though?
Yeah, because then you look, it took that long for Martin's daughter to be a teenager, and we got that perfect scene of them meeting to do that at the door.
Yeah,
exactly. Yep.
I was really satisfied with the fact that they used the same dude too. The third one.
He had no choice.
I was really
he had
satisfied.
No choice. He had to marry her. Won't no choice.
All right.
I thought about that the whole time I saw that movie. I was like, man, he really had no choice, huh?
Yeah, he was stuck, man.
Because he was like, yo, I don't want Will to do anything near me with that gun himself. Oh God.
All right.
It's true.
I got a two-parter. So the first thing is, I know you can't tell me what's in Jim Stacy. I know I got to find out for myself. But if you were to compare it to any other story, What would that be?
That's a good question.
Oh, dang. I don't know. I really don't.
And all nonfiction.
I have been like trying to find that answer myself for marketing purposes, obviously. But yeah, I would say like if you took like I'm gonna say James Patterson because like I said, James Patterson is like one of my heroes. Also, another one of my heroes, Stan Lee. If Stan Lee and James Patterson got together and made like one masterpiece, like I would say that's where something like this would kind of compare to.
That's okay.
Yeah, it does. James Patterson, Captain America would be kind of fly.
Yo, bruh, let me tell you something.
I would actually like Captain America at that point.
Yeah, that'd be kind of fly.
I would actually prefer if he did Multiple Man. So the version of Multiple Man that's a lawyer.
Okay.
That normally go up against She-Hulk in the courtroom.
Okay.
I want James Patterson to write those stories. I want him to write those courtroom stories between Maddox and Walters. That's what I want. I want to see what that looks like because it's right in his wheelhouse, and it takes two characters that Stan Lee created that like right at the end of his I'm making every character a career. And like that together, I think would be phenomenal. And I don't even think James even considered where he could smack on another 40 books or something is comic issues in a year.
Yeah.
Like he could just boom real quick.
Yeah.
He could do a little mini series or something. James Patterson, if you for some reason you ever listen to this, which is possible because Barnes and Nobles was checking out our page. We ain't gonna discuss it, but Barnes and Nobles, I seen you.
Yeah. Oh yeah. What's up, Tabika? You know, that was for her book.
Yeah. It caught you in 4K. So Barnes and Nobles, come on, holla at your boy. Don't be afraid to go ahead and click the like button. I seen you out there, peeping on the page for a minute. You know what I'm saying? More than once too. I seen you. So come on, hop over to your boy. Get a sponsor up in here.
That would be dope. I need that discount.
It would be dope. I promise I can get you at least 12 more authors by then. Every time this man write a book, we in there.
That's true.
It's happening.
It's gonna be half of your fiction shelf at some point.
Yes, 82 books. That's an aisle. Get this man his own aisle, bro. I'm with it.
Yeah, that would be ill.
A whole aisle.
The
like AJ McMullen stuff.
That would be
Never
wild.
thought of that.
You ain't never think of the AJ McMullen stuff? Come on, bro.
Nah,
what you
man.
talking about?
Like Marvel got their own
I just want
aisle?
to write the books. That's all I've been thinking about, just writing the books.
Inevitably, right? Go to like a Second and Charles. See, that's how it could be. Barnes and Nobles, right?
Oh Lord,
that's how it could be.
They owned by the same people, ain't it?
No.
Books A Million owns Second and Charles.
Books A Million. So notice how I could talk about your competitors, if you want. You know, it's up to you. I could talk about you and just you, but you know
that's real passive aggressive.
I mean, I'm just letting them know. You know what I'm saying? I ain't threatening nobody. I'm just telling them that like there's other options in the world.
To your chick, and you be like, your sister was talking to me the other day. I could say what's up to her.
Yeah, right. Like your best friend do be calling me a lot for no reason.
It's real passive aggressive.
But yeah, I was just saying, you walk in there and they sometimes they group their authors by sections by authors alone. And I'm like, you know what? Would be nice to go in there and just see a AJ McMullen right here across the set, and it wouldn't even be up front. You know how they do? It'll be like to the left, 2 rows over.
It's probably wasn't the M's they do by last name.
But that's how you meet people when you an extrovert and you really trying to vibe, or when you an introvert and you afraid that everybody you meet ain't gonna like the same lanes you like. That's how you know. You pop in the section, you go to a book section, it's all one author, and boom, there's a like-minded individual.
I was about to say, you could bring people together through your book.
Could bring people together. That's what's big time, right? That's the ultimate goal of an author for real. Is that when you finally build that fan base, them ride or dies, then you know you got it.
Well, yeah, I think that's the dream of any creator, right? To leave some type of impact on their life. Like, I got a Marvel tattoo. Like, Stan Lee did something.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He hit me somewhere in my core being to make me get this tattoo.
It means, you can retire in peace.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's I didn't do part 2 again. Hold on. Yeah.
That was a thing from.
We
We carried it over to the new studio.
I gotta start adding a part 3 so I can give y'all at least 2 parts, and then never give y'all the third one. That's how we gonna do
Yo,
it.
you gonna make somebody so mad. We can do a live show. They be like, "Why you never asked the other question, man?"
I was there like, "Hey man, mind your business." Mind your business, dog. All right, so the second part was right. What genre would you classify if you had to put it in a box? And I'm not saying any creator has to put any creation in a box.
Mm-hmm.
But if you were gonna put it in a box, what shelf would I find this on? What section would I find this in specific?
More than likely sci-fi, but I wouldn't classify this book as a sci-fi because it doesn't have a lot of the sci-fi elements. But thriller, suspense.
That's better. I like that.
Yeah.
Because that's to me, Aliens is more thriller than it is sci-fi. I
Really?
like that. Oh man. So yes, there is a lot of science fiction in it, but I would put the word thriller before sci-fi when I'm talking about the movie Alien. Like, it's a horror movie first, and a sci-fi movie second. As a matter of fact, when you go to
it's
Blockbuster,
a haunted house thing, really.
Oh, Blockbuster don't exist. No
It
more.
don't.
It's made myself sad.
One.
Where?
Oh yeah, the last one.
Oklahoma.
Oh, who is going away to Oklahoma for?
It's like
a
a
rent a
it's like a
movie?
blockbuster museum now. Like
Oh.
Yeah, that I would consider it honestly. I regret getting rid of my Blockbuster card 2 years ago.
Man.
Keep in mind,
That's
Bob,
an artifact.
for those of y'all watching us not knowing what time we released this thing, it's 2021, and I got rid of my Blockbuster card in 2019. Okay, so sad times. But yeah, like I definitely thriller suspense is a route to go because people know, oh man, I might be on edge. That's what you need to know when you're reading the book. Am I gonna sit on the edge of my seat when I'm reading this, or is this a casual sitting on the bus type of book? Because honestly, if it's keeping you on the edge of your seat, you might want to make sure you got somewhere you ain't got to be tomorrow. Because like those are the type of books that hook you, and you knock them out in a day, and you forget you had somewhere to be. If you got a tight schedule, so y'all be careful. It sounds like it might be one that you ain't ready to put down immediately. All right, the joint might hook you a little bit. Just be cautious. Make sure you got the kind of patience that you can set a page down, put a bookmark in, and then come back to it. Because if you ain't that type of person, you want to go ahead and just get yourself a free day to read it. All right, be wise. All right, don't be out here missing work and stuff. Y'all gotta be careful. Drink water. All right, I'm sorry, Alex. You go ahead. You have
I don't even know what I was going to ask now. I was letting you rant.
people gotta drink water, man.
Damn. So, shit. I don't really know. Second top 5, because I really didn't have another question prepared. I was listening to him talk.
Okay, good.
Top 5 authors.
You knew it was coming. I don't even know why you made that face. You knew it was coming.
Stan Lee,
Wow.
Sure. one.
James Patterson,
2.
Terry Brooks,
Oh, okay.
Veronica Roth,
Ooh. I need you to give me a recommendation for her.
and I'll put J.K. Rowling.
Okay.
Yeah.
Controversial.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's country.
Nowadays, that like 10 years ago, he would have been like, okay.
Yeah.
Now you're looking at people kind of funny, like, really?
Yeah, people might judge you a little bit.
J.K. Rowling's dog?
Her work is still
It still stands.
like what she did prior to her expressing her personal opinions about things.
Oh yeah, of course.
Before she started talking, before social media. Yeah.
Actually, now that I do have a question, because do you worry about that? Because like you separate from who you are as a creator, like your own personal political life opinions, right? Like say you're doing an interview like today, and we just talking about life stuff, and then you say something that you don't even think nothing about it,
right?
But somebody hears and is like, "Yo, you think that about that?"
Oh yeah, how to separate AJ McMullen from Aaron?
Right.
Oh yeah,
yeah. Like that's something that we deal with anyway because of the podcast. But
yeah,
like if based off of what this series is, man, I choose right now to completely ignore all of it because like people are going to read this and they're going to I want people to read this series in general and think about what the world is today. Like, I don't want you to just read it for entertainment. There's also like underlying messages that I put in all of these stories, leading up to the main series that I want to release, which is also ready to go. But we'll get to that on a future date. But yeah, like, I don't really worry about how people like see me as a person, because I want you to look at
The work.
the actual work.
Okay.
I'm with it.
No, because like a lot of times, like people, the work speaks for itself. But then when people do interviews,
We had that discussion on the show before about separating the artist from the author. Yeah,
it's tough.
Like,
Though.
yeah, the artist from the art from the artist. That's yeah.
You pick and choose too.
Because if it's good enough, you be willing to let
I'm
it
just saying, man.
stuff
We
slide,
love James Brown.
Yeah,
James Brown was out here wilding.
I'm also just oblivious to most of the things that comes with the life of being famous. I don't know. Like, I work at Vanilla right now, so I guess the experience will teach me something a little different.
Yeah.
yo, it's good to stay humble. Though.
It's
real,
true.
Real talk. Yeah, like,
J. Cole, I'm about to say, don't nobody really speak bad about J. Cole.
that's facts.
He might be boring. That's like the most
gotta
his
stay
cardinal
humble.
sin.
Yo, how you? I noticed I'm related, but
I brought him up for a reason.
Yeah, so everybody's talking about like lyrics that literally happened in the very beginning of the album, and some people saying those lyrics are mediocre, and some people saying that's the most fire lyrics to explain the entire album is gonna be fire. How do you feel?
Oh, I don't know or care. I just know he put Cameron at the beginning of his album over the whatever Jay-Z beat that was, and I was like, all right, well, this can't be so bad. Can't be so bad. But no, in terms of his lyrical content, I really didn't pay that much attention to J. Cole. He's good. He's really good.
You know what though?
Really good.
Everybody segue. This is actually perfect. This is a perfect setup. I want y'all to tell y'all about Lightning in a Bottle because I just caught that joint. So, for those who do not know, AJ McMullen also dabbles in music.
Oh yeah, it is a good segue.
So writing goes beyond books, does it not? Does it not
yeah.
go beyond books? You write rhymes too.
does.
Talk about it.
It's been a while,
Okay.
but yeah, that's one of the things that that made me realize that writing is one of the things that I want to do. I wrote a lot of music between the years of 2010 to 2018. Probably somewhere over the margin of about 150 songs, maybe. And these are things that are unrecorded.
Now for I was about to say it again. I can't help myself. For those who don't know, the theme song of the Dirty Trunk Podcast was written by AJ McMullen. So, is it easier to write a novel or to write a song?
A song.
Easier to write a song.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
Stop playing with me.
So yeah, like I would write a whole album around this book.
That's crazy. Well, yeah, you know what? The amount of words, that does make sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. It makes perfect sense.
But like music is so much looser, if that makes sense.
Yeah, you can repeat yourself. If
You don't even have to really say words.
If I read the same sentence 3 times in that book, I'd be like, yo, he tripping. I'd be like, he just filling pages right now.
Bruh,
He
like,
bugged out.
bro, you could literally just scream your name out on the song as an ad lib, and people would lose their mind.
Yeah, they'd be like, oh, that was so cold. Yeah, you right. Yo, you
Like
right.
Mike Jones had a whole 15 minutes just off of saying his name.
Yes.
Ain't nobody know who he was.
Would you ever consider combining the two? Like, all right, so I've always been a fan of albums that are thematical, that tell a whole story from beginning to end. Like, you take a Janelle Monáe album, and it's like literally it's telling a story from track 1 to like track 10. It's one singular story. Singular.
Yeah.
Singular's my bad, y'all. Paul makes a mango. One singular story. Came straight from Roanoke Rapids in North Carolina. But would you ever consider taking a novel and having it in album form? Like, would you ever consider combining your two writing crafts, right? And or even having an album to go along with the novel, so that you could be reading a novel and the whole time you got a track list in the back that fits. Like, all right, chapter 3, listen to track 1. You know what I'm saying? And it fits in with the story. Is that something in your mind, or am I tripping? Am I drunk?
I have never considered it.
I'm drunk. Yeah, my bad. I just thought it'd be dope. I've been waiting on somebody to do that my whole life, and they ain't done it yet. So, you know what I'm saying? I was just hoping somebody thought of it already, so I wouldn't have to ask. So
cut that part.
Yeah.
Cut that part.
I got a question though, and it kind of comes back to how you view writing or creating in general, right? So, while I don't write, and I'm not prolific as you obviously right now, but when I do imagine writing or creating, I try to picture everything as a movie and how we have background.
Absolutely.
Music. So, do you write with music? Do you write with a soundtrack in mind when you write?
I have a something called a motivational playlist on my phone. So, but were you referring to like what I listen to while I'm writing it, or like,
just like how do you imagine the scenes
how I
to
visualize
be?
it?
Yeah,
like bro, like a full movie.
Okay,
full movie. Like that's how I write it, as me writing down what's happening verbatim in the movie that I'm watching in my mind of what's going on.
Right.
Like one day I hope to see these on the big screen. Like
right.
I don't have a lot of big time goals, but like silver screen is where I want to see these.
Yeah.
Like it's a movie adaptation, man. Like I would love to have that.
The only thing about that is you got to let go of what you see, because it's not going to look like what you see.
But I feel like at that point, that's when I made it. When I don't have to be the one to write it, like for real, like there are people. Stan Lee ain't had to, like, in his later years, he ain't had to touch nothing.
Showed up for a cameo.
He ain't had to touch absolutely nothing. You had guys like the Russo brothers was like, all right, I like this group of characters. Let's write something. Let's get a team of people. Let's write something. Yeah. Hey, Stan, Mr. Lee, is this okay?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, it's okay. It's good. It's good. Like that's that's how I like. Once I reached that point, like it's 80-something books, bro. Like I have no idea if I'm gonna even be the one to write them. Like. The idea's there, the outlines are there, but I don't know if I'm going to be the one to finish writing all of them. And I feel like my level of my success, my definition of success is people coming on and seeing the vision.
Okay, that is the ultimate evolution of fan fiction, man. It just hit me. Like that's literally what it is. It's like you get so comfortable with your work, you got, all right, it's going to stand on its own. Fan fiction is I just get the people just now asking, fans are now asking you, can I do this with your work, instead of just abusing it on their own.
Well, you got to think about it like this, right? These characters have been around since comic books in particular, right? Have been around since the 30s and the 60s, right?
Yeah.
So everybody who's come up after seeing the initial Stan Lee stuff is basically writing their own fan fiction. They're getting paid to do it. They're like the writers now, the Grant Morrisons, the Brian Michael Bendises. Fan fiction. That's why
it's
canon though.
That's why every art got
canon-ish.
Oh yeah. Well, they rewrite it every like year or so, but you know what I mean.
Retcons, you crazy. So 80 books, right?
Mm-hmm.
Have you considered what to do if the world progresses too far? So I think about this. Princess of Mars was where science fiction started. For those who don't know, I can't stop it. So Princess of Mars is the first science fiction. Like that's where the genre started.
Mm-hmm.
And
so John Carter, right?
Yeah, yeah, they made a movie, John Carter. Disney made one. But Princess of Mars original book series. It's a little wild. Make sure y'all know ahead of time. John Carter is a Confederate soldier in like the original Princess of Mars book.
Bro, all those heroes are problematic.
Yeah, just a bit of a warning. It's a thing. He's from Virginia, so
of course he is.
Yeah, so I mean, I have read a couple of them. Out of those 42 books, I
got a whole separate tangent about how like very few things good come from Virginia that we are like aware of in the national news and national attention.
Because they don't want to give us credit for nothing, man.
Bro,
Virginia gets slapped up.
I'm just saying, like Surrey made the national news. Why? Michael Vick was fighting dogs.
Yeah, people.
Chris Brown was beating on this girl.
Yeah,
or got beat on by his
Iverson's whole
We not talking about Allen Iverson today.
Sorry, I just
This is
wanted to
supposed
see your
be a
face.
happy-
I brought
a
his
happy
name up.
day, and that man will not come over here. And he was in Richmond giving something to somebody to underprivileged you for something.
Richmond-
The whole time I was thinking about,
Richmond ran Jay-Z up out of there,
Sure.
bro.
yeah,
Won't even come back.
Start snatch his chain. Now,
Can't have nothing nice.
Forgot where I was at now.
I'm sorry.
I forgot where I was at. What was I at? Who remembers? No. I had it. Oh, Princess of Mars.
Yes,
Someone Princess of Mars.
yes.
Okay, so in that though, it's before we had the technology for cell phones and whatnot.
Yeah.
But all that stuff is in that book. There's people talk about Jules Verne, like he writes something that's like, oh, this is fiction, and it's like, no, but we have microwaves now. We have cars now. Like he wrote it before that stuff existed. So I'm like, are you concerned that when you're writing this, and like the timestamps you may set for things, just like in comic books, like at some point everybody was like a World War II vet, and then they're like, oh no, actually they got to be Vietnam, and they're like, oh no, actually they got to be like
Korean War and all that.
no, they got to be Afghanistan because they have to keep going to make the timeline and the ages make sense. Mm-hmm. Are you worried that within 82 books, inevitably you're gonna have to retcon some information to be like, all right, well, to fit the fact that it might take you like 10, 15 years to write these 80 books, right?
Yeah.
But the characters in the novel's universe, it might only be progressing 3 years. Like, have you got a plan set in place for that? Are you thinking about that ahead of time?
Yeah. So I don't want to go too deep into the plan, but like I've had to move. Like it's funny because you asked that question. Like I've had to actually move my thought process of how I write the main story, because the main story isn't present day. Like that's future. This is, however, present day, but it's all part of the same universe, if that makes sense.
All right.
So what I'm setting up makes all of that irrelevant. Like the whole time, like current times and all of this thing, like what's going on in reality. Of course, like there's things like I have to pay attention to, like what's trending in pop culture and all things like that, to what people find interesting. But for the most part, like you will never be able to be like, oh yeah, that's happening now. Like I want to create a completely different world that's separate from our world.
Okay.
This book doesn't accomplish that, but what this book is leading up to will.
Okay.
So this is the prelude.
This is the
preview.
prelude. Yeah.
This is issue 0. That's what you're trying to tell me.
Yeah. This is actually, so I have 10 series that I'm currently outlining. This is series 0.
Yeah, that's what I like. That's what I like. Yeah, give me a 0. Get everybody established and set up before you start cracking me with crazy not, because you know, sometimes people go too heavy too quick, and I'm like, well, relax. Relax. I don't need to know what happened in 2012 to make the world a volcanic wasteland. I need to tell me about the world before the volcanic wasteland a little bit.
That's true. But see, you know what though, and like you probably should know. Well, I don't want to give too much game off, but you know what Marvel does that's really smart.
What's that?
Is that they like always put out number ones, so they know like it's always a new group of readers every time a movie drops.
Yeah, facts.
Right. So like, and I don't know what your media strategy is, right? But like, if you ever do get a chance or a setup where you got a movie coming out, man, that's when you drop a new series.
Yeah, it's genius.
Yeah.
You writing screenplays now too?
I have not written a screenplay, but I did research on screenwriting.
Hey man. Yeah.
And one day I do plan to query this to like a big
streaming service might be the best way to go for you.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Like Netflix is coming up real good. They got the Jupiter Legacy thing that kind of look like my vision of what I'm going for. Yeah. But
My wife was so hurt when she found out it wasn't related to Jupiter Ascending.
Really?
That's her guilty pleasure.
Oh,
movie.
You gotta buy
that
the books
movie.
for her.
That movie is awesome though. Like I seen
Jupiter
it for the first time. Like last year.
The Wachowskis get no love and respect, and they're so dope.
Yo, the Wachowski sisters is crazy.
They don't get no love.
But that movie, the fact that Channing Tatum was a angelic werewolf on rocket boot rollerblades.
Yo,
that if you just explain the movie like that to somebody, they're gonna be like,
"What?
I gotta see this, or please keep that away from me forever."
It's not his fault. It's the villain's fault because he was like whisper screaming
the whole movie. So Eddie Redmayne.
Yeah.
right.
I was just saying.
I won't get about. Or he probably gonna be listening to go. Oh yeah,
So
talk
look-
about it, Red Man.
So look, we gonna wrap this up. Is there any more questions you want to ask?
Oh no,
AJ,
no, no,
excuse
no.
me.
I did. It's we ain't talk about where they can find the book. Let them know where they can buy the book, man.
Currently, the book is available at on Amazon on ebook and paperback. You can also get it from my website, ajmcmullen.com. Currently, we are in the process of trying to get it on shelves in certain locations.
Nice.
We are working on getting it into the local libraries around this area.
Oh, very nice.
So, yeah.
Support Petersburg.
Yeah. So, yeah.
So we're gonna put a link in this so that y'all can access specifically the website, but spell your name for them because people don't know how to spell, man.
People do not know how to spell.
Yo, it's rough.
Like it's
I
gonna be
spent-
hard for them to read.
I spent my
man.
whole high school career being called McMuffin because people didn't know how to pronounce my last
Jesus.
name. Like for real.
There's a lot of
McMuffin?
consonants.
So-
There's a lot of consonants in there, man.
McMuffin?
People struggle with
Yeah,
consonants.
people. Yeah, it's too many.
How many fights did you get into in high school? That's my last
a lot.
question. Because the first and last time somebody called me
Bruh.
McMuffin, dog.
Yeah, I
What?
know, right?
They would know better after that. But he called him McMuffin, he snapped. What?
So that is AJMCMULLEN.com.
Fantastic. That's what I like to
Oh,
hear.
we didn't talk about this off air. We should have, but did you want to say anything about your aunt who recently,
I do.
she was a fan of the show, I believe.
She was actually. So my aunt Karen passed away recently here in 2021, and very first episode, very first audio release. She found out that I was doing a podcast, and she didn't know how to use Anchor, streaming, none of that. She was in her 60s, and technology wasn't her best friend. So she went through the trouble of figuring out from somebody else how to teach one of her grandkids how to use Anchor. And I sent it to her just so she could listen to the podcast to support us. And she sent me an audio message on Anchor. It's the only person to ever send me an audio message on Anchor. I didn't even know you could do that until she did it, just to tell me she was going to figure out how to use it better so she can continue to support me, and that she loved me, she was proud of me, and she enjoyed episode 1. That was the first viewer feedback we ever received for this podcast, was from my aunt, Karen R. Fuller, Robinson family in Petersburg, and I love her, man. Like she held me down. When I say that, it's almost like my mom is her baby sister, right? So growing up, small child, toddler age, my mom was still trying to figure out life herself, because she had me and she was still in her like mid-20s. Karen was there for us, you know what I'm saying? She made sure we had a place to stay. She made sure that, I say this, if anything ever happened and I ain't had nowhere to live, she told me that's where I was going, right? And me and my wife, when we first got together, her parents didn't feel comfortable with her like staying in the same place as me. That Catholic, very religious. They weren't really comfortable with like us staying in the same place overnight, that type of thing before marriage. So if it wasn't for my aunt, we couldn't have been hanging out. It was long. This was like a 3-hour relationship, and 3 hours away from each other. And my aunt was like, she could just stay here, just so y'all be in like the same city. You know what I'm saying? Just so she got somewhere to sleep. It's like I wouldn't even be married right now if it wasn't for my aunt. Like, she really held it down for me, and rest her soul. And for those who've heard me talk about my family before, that's my Uncle Juan's sister, and I'm gonna miss her. But the podcast is gonna dedicate it to her, man. She's the first fan. You know what I'm saying? But we'll go ahead and wrap the show up. Everybody go check out Gem State Siege.
Please do. Please do.
Get you a copy. Send a copy to a friend. Birthday gift, Christmas gift. Read it. If you're an aspiring author, get some inspiration.
Yeah.
Make yourself a new hero, a new legend. Support local artists. Support black books. I need more out here. I need more variety. I need more diversity and inclusion in my reading selection. I want an audiobook next. We doing that? We doing an audiobook or what?
Sure.
Yeah.
Hey, man.
Yeah.
Look, you got to get Morgan Freeman to do the voice.
Oh, that'd be fire.
Fucking insane. Yeah. Absolutely insane. Yes.
Yeah. That's,
Either that or Kevin Hart. I don't know why I said Kevin Hart, but Kevin Hart was hilarious too.
Y'all push my man. All right. Give him the support he needs to keep this thing going. Because what I need to see is more books. Because it's a particular series that I'm still waiting on. We talked about it before. If you don't remember Elephant in the Room episode, go back, rewatch it. You'll know what I'm talking about. All right.
Yeah.
But this has been Edilberto Vasquez El Segundo. They call me Herb, and to my left is my co-host,
Just Alex.
and we've been here with AJ McMullen today. Please read Gem State Siege. Good willing, and God bless.
Michael Jack him, or hold his hood for ransom. Find his main bitch in his savage, make him trap house dancers. 4TF is for the family. Don't like it, fuck you, pay me. It's for my brother's babies and my daddy's new Mercedes. 16 in the clip, I draw the nigga. The coroner drawing the nigga. This chopper right here, disarming the nigga. My cutter unarming the nigga. Fuck, I look like let you home with my niggas. Like you just gon' get away with it. Try that shit now, you can hunt like a nigga. Fucked up and drug through the mud like a nigga. Ain't got any friends, all I got is my brothers. My 40 still on me. You die if you touch it, can't go but my lonely. They know that I love them. We fussing, we fight afterwards, go discuss it. I'm slamming the blocks like Tetris. Loading the truck UPSS. Black and yellow VVS's. My chain name Jerome Bed. It's time to fan. I am the man, I go Super Saiyan when I'm